Day Team Telco, we continue with our accounts receivables account executive training, and we continue to look at how to get reconciliations done. And in part 3 of this training around reconciliations, we're going to look at payments matching. In the previous 2 talks about reconciliations, first of all, we looked at the process of doing a background of the customer so that you understand various details about the customer, where they're coming from, what do you need to understand about them. And then secondly, we looked at the invoicing process, how to make sure that you've got all the invoices in place and that you've got no duplications. Now we're going to have a look at reconciliations, how we look at making sure that we can match our payments to our invoices. So let's get started. All right, so we're continuing to look at the account that we started off with for Mr. Moffat Jamu. And so we are going to go back to our client's main account. And the first thing that we want to do before we even start matching payments to the respective invoices is we'd like to have a look at all the payments that Mr. Jamu has made to us in the last few months. So we're going to go to our dashboard and we're going to type customer payments of customer, and we want we're going to type payments because we want to see our customer payments. That's what we want over here. We are going to then, now that we are in the customer payments, we're going to type the customer's name, and again making sure that we are looking for the right customer, and we're going to search for the customer or vendor there. According to our payments system, it would seem that we've received a sum total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 payments from this customer. And the reason why we're looking at this is we want to make sure that we do not have any duplicate payments. It does happen sometimes that when the receipting team collects payments and they create payments in the system, that they can possibly create a duplicated payment. So we want to make sure that there are no 2 exact same amount payments on the exact same day, which would seem to indicate that there is a duplication. If we look at this customer, on the 4th, he paid that amount, on the 29th, that amount, 13th of January, that amount, 9th of June, that amount, 24th of July, that amount, 4th of August, that amount, and the 4th of August. It would seem that there are 2 payments, but they're 2 different amounts. We may want to launch an investigation into these 2 payments over here because these 2 payments were made on the same day, but they seem to have quite large amounts, different amounts, and they were paid through the same bank. So we might want to so what I would do there is I would schedule an activity, or rather go into the payment. First of all, check the memo. Okay, the memo seems to indicate that this was certainly a payment from Mr. Jamu. Let's have a look at the other one. Both payments seem to indicate that they came from Mr. Jamu. So it looks like both payments were made on the same day, but they are different amounts and they have been reconciled, as you can see, to a bank statement. So this would indicate that indeed we did receive those 2 payments. So I think when it comes to this customer, we are good to go to start matching his invoices to his payments. And we've cleared that there are no duplications, and we've questioned some payments that we've seen there which were made on the same day, but whose memos seem to indicate that they belong to the same customer. So now we're going to go back into the client's account, and we can take a quick shortcut and go into the client's account through his payments. And once we're back on the customer card, we will go into his invoices. We're going to just check on his invoices, and all of these are going to remove the filter that says not paid, and we're just going to make sure that we've got all the invoices in one area there. We don't need to see this cancelled invoice because it doesn't affect our lives, so we're just going to look for the draft and the posted invoices, so that we can match our payments. So we will start with the first payment that was made, which is the oldest payment, the oldest invoice, and we will match from oldest invoice coming up to the newest invoice. When we do payment matching, we always start with the oldest invoice matched to the oldest payment. This is so we will always match from the oldest invoice matched to the oldest payment. So we'll start from the bottom of the invoices, and we will start from the bottom of the payments. The bottom of the payments is the oldest payment. So we will add that payment there and match it to that invoice. And we see there that because the payment was short a little bit, it made a partial match. So what we will do again is we see that this client subsequently made some more payments. So we will then start matching again to clear this $2.52 that was left over there with the oldest payment until this is fully paid off. We will go to the next invoice and we'll match it with the oldest remaining balance on the payment until it is fully paid off. And we will continue as long as we've got a balance available to match, continue with matching the oldest balance and continue coming upwards. So I'm going to continue to do that for a minute, and I'll come back as soon as I've matched all the available payments to the available invoices. Right, I've finished matching all the way up to August 2023. Client has continued to pay his account in Zimbabwe dollars. And so you will find that there's last two invoices for September and October in this client's account that were initially raised in US dollars. But the client has paid his account in Zim dollars. So what we want to do there is we want to convert these invoices that were initially raised in US dollars into Zim dollar invoices, and then cancel the US dollar invoice and match the payment to the Zim dollar payment that the client made. So I'm going to do that quickly and show you once I have done so. So the way that we're going to cancel these two US dollar invoices in order to match them to create ZWL invoices is we're going to create credit notes. So we're going to add a credit note for a full refund. Client paid in ZWL, therefore raised ZWL invoices. Okay, we're going to leave the specific and we're going to match it against this sales invoice journal. The refund date must be the date, same date as the date when the invoice was created, and we're going to ask for a refund. We're going to then reverse this particular invoice. And we will do the same with the next invoice, which is the invoice for October. So you see there, the invoice is now reversed for September. We will do the same with the invoice for October. Okay. going to cast it to the sales invoices journal, and we're going to record it on the same day as. So we've reversed those two invoices. We will now go ahead and create two new invoices for September and October. So you can see here, the September invoice has been reversed, and so has the October invoice. And obviously we want to just make sure that that has been done. September and October have been reversed and posted. And so now we want to create new invoices for September at the correct ZWL rate for September. I'm going to do that and come back to you shortly. Okay, so what we can see here is I've now raised the relevant September invoice in ZWL. So it must be a sales invoice in ZWL with the relevant taxes. And now we can continue with matching our payments there to the September invoice. And we will do the same for the October invoice. Okay, so we are done with raising the September and the October Zim dollar invoices, and we've matched them to the remaining payments. Now, let's go back to Mr. Jamu's. As you probably saw, the balance dues there on the customer's account is sitting at minus 531,140. This means that the customer has paid us more than what they owe to date. So if we click there into the amount due for the customer, we can see that all the customer's invoices have been fully matched, and he remains with a negative balance, which means he has overpaid us, and these payments can be matched to future invoices that we raise for him. We can then go ahead and send him his statement by email. If we are confident that this is his balance, we send it off by email, like simply clicking the email, and it'll show there that once it turns green, it shows that the email, the statement, the follow-up report was successfully sent. And we can now go ahead and close this reconciliation activity. Did you check that all the customers' invoices are present on the subscription? Yes, I did. Did you match all the payments? Yes, I did. Did you verify the status of the customer's account as active or inactive? Yes, I did. Did you verify that the customer has utilized his account for the periods that I invoiced? I sure did. Did you ensure that all necessary invoices have been cancelled? Yes, I did. Did you deal with any items that are marked as in payment? We will come back to this issue about dealing with anomalies like payments that are invoices that are marked as in payment. We'll come back to this issue in another session. Did you finish reconciling the customer's account in accordance with the process? I did. Did you schedule a follow-up activity for collection? In this particular case, because the customer doesn't owe us anything, I didn't have to schedule any activity. So I will write no activity necessary. Customer is not owing and has fully paid. So I can just write that there. And maybe just put that in blue. And I can also make no invoices marked as in payment. Okay, so this is me now closing off my reconciliation and leaving those. Did you give full and substantial feedback in the task? This is what I'm doing now. So as I save that and mark it as done, I'm going to make a comment. The customer account is fully reconciled. The customer actually is in a prepaid situation. I have sent the customer statement.